Hey, I'm Camilla and welcome to Serenus Vita. I wanted my first video to be very simple. Why am I creating this and what do I actually want Serenus Vita to become? My academic background is in biology, and alongside my degree, I spent the past year studying nutrition and naturopathy. And the more I've learned, the more I've become interested not simply in what we're told to do for our house, but in understanding the physiology behind it. Because we live in a slightly strange time. We probably have greater access to house information than any generation before us, and yet nutrition can feel incredibly confusing. Don't eat carbohydrates, eat carbohydrates, fast, never skip breakfast, take this supplement, avoid this ingredient, fix your cortisol, balance your hormones. And very often we're given a rule without being taught enough biology to evaluate the rule itself. And that's a gap I wanted Serenus Vita to explore. The human body isn't a collection of completely independent parts. Digestion, metabolism, the nervous system, endocrine signaling, circulation, sleep, movement, and nutrition interact. That's also one of the things I find fascinating about studying biology. Once you start understanding the mechanisms underneath something, how it becomes much more interesting than a list of foods you're supposedly allowed or forbidden to eat. But I also want Serenus Vita to have another principle: intellectual honesty. I'm still learning, and I don't want to build a platform where every question has to have a dramatic answer. Sometimes the evidence is strong, sometimes it's mixed. Sometimes we have an interesting biological mechanism but don't yet have convincing evidence that manipulating that mechanism produces a meaningful health outcomes in humans. And sometimes the scientifically correct answer is simply, we don't know yet. And I think house education should be comfortable saying that. So on this channel, we'll talk about energy and why you might feel exhausted in the afternoon. We'll talk about gut health and what the term actually means. Protein, fiber, coffee, supplements, women's health, stress state and digestion, blood tests, and some of the wellness claims that sound extremely scientific until you actually examine the evidence behind them. I also want this to be practical. Understanding physiology is fascinating, but ultimately, I want you to be able to take that understanding into a supermarket, a kitchen, conversation with your health professional, or simply the decisions you make every day. My aim isn't to give you another perfect diet, it's to help you understand your body well enough to ask better questions. That's Serenus Vita. If there is something about nutrition, health, or human physiology you've always wanted properly explained, leave it below. I may turn your question into one of the next videos. Welcome to Serenus Vita.